Hi everyone, welcome back again to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot that I'm using for the day by Poppy Palin. If you like it, it's an awesome book with it. It's really, her writing is just as beautiful as her artwork. So this, and the cards are big though. This reading is for Thursday, September 16th, 2021. And as always, my question is, what is it that we need to know in order to grow, in order to evolve, in order to just be our natural, beautiful, powerful selves? And shine our light, be in our light. What is it that we need to know? If there's anything to heal or to just be with gently, what is the message? Okay. And if you do order this deck, I colored the edges. I colored the edges, so if it comes out of the box, you're like, hey, they're not green. That's my fault for teasing. Okay, this one right here. Ooh, only one reversal today. I think they were all reversed yesterday. Okay, so Temperance, one of my favorite cards. I tend to love the Temperance and the King and Queen of Cups as my favorites. So with the Temperance as our theme, this is cool here. First of all, check out the sprite in the background. You know, there's in this deck she has sprites of all different types, little divas and little angels. But there's something going on between these two. So she has brought in the artwork of relationship into the Temperance. So I always look at Temperance as being the law, or at least the Temperance card, as being the law of mutuality, where you need two yes forces to come together in order to create that third thing that is much bigger than the two together. And you can imagine that like when a child is created, when a baby is, conceived. Or any creative endeavor, nothing can be created without having your yes force going out into the world and being very clear with it, very, very clear with it. And all the unconscious levels being clear, a clear yes, the wise unconscious being a clear yes, that you're ready for it, you want it, you have it within you already, and you're just waiting for the universe to mirror it back to you, for it to be manifested on the earthly level. And then you have that third thing, whatever it is. So it's you co-creating with the universe, and then you have that thing, whatever it is. These two people are not, their arms are folded. They're both in a no to each other. Or the yes hasn't come yet. Maybe she doesn't like the image on his t-shirt. Maybe she doesn't like his tattoos. Maybe she doesn't like his nose ring. And maybe he's like, well, he's got the anarchy sign up here on his hat. His hair is blue. He's very creative that way. But maybe she's more like corporate CEO type of thing. Or maybe, if you guys are like me, there's no way I could sit and have needles, pushed into my skin. But that's just me, and I just definitely do not judge anyone else about it. She's definitely judging him, and maybe he's thinking, well, what, are you kind of a prude? What's going on there? There's something going on there. Meanwhile, there's this guardian angel back here saying, hey, come on, I think you two can find some area where you agree on something. So I think that this card, and especially because of these two cards flanking it, I really feel like this has to do with that age-old battle of sometimes needing to just chill out. That age-old battle of my letting go of the my way or the highway type of a thing. Because this guy, we can see right here, this woman, or whatever, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, honestly. I can't tell. But what's going on, I think it's a woman, but what's going on is this person is the ruler of this kitchen, right? But we have a yellow jacket here. We have these other, so maybe it's like busy bee working kind of, that type of energy. But these people don't like her or him. There's no harmony here. And there's definitely no harmony here yet until they open up. And this person may need to lose some employees or workers or, co-workers or friends until they get that lesson. Because the Five of Swords, man, it's a challenging card. It has to do with arguments and self-interest and sometimes actually facing major defeat in order to grow. So, with the Eight of Cups, let's turn it right side up so that you can see. She's had it. I'm not doing any more of these dishes. I'm gonna take my life force. Notice the red. I'm gonna take my life force and I'm going somewhere else, because I can't do this anymore. She's taking responsibility for her life. Or is she? What's going on here is the the question. What is the truth? Is she shirking responsibility and just walking away? Like, what is it? But it came through reversed. So to me, there's a completely different message here when when we're in this place of not taking self-responsibility and we're stagnant. This is a card of, because it's reversed, she's not walking away. So there could be some low self-esteem issues. There could be just some fear of loss. There's stagnancy here too. And this is definitely, yeah. So I think the message for the day is to know that you're going to have to find, we all have to find where we have a no. So maybe this is just purely on the relationship level. Maybe we have a no to new relationship because we've been beat up in the past and because other people have not been self-responsible and we were stuck with holding all the responsibility. Now, that's a familiar theme, right? So if that's the case, we have to know that those patterns in the past don't have to create the future. We do have to be in touch with the patterns of the past so that we don't allow ourselves to get involved in that anymore. Like when you've been involved in this type of relationship in the past, you've learned the hard way what's healthy and what's not. And you tend to just walk away when you see that type of behavior again. So this walking away from judgmental people or rebellious people, this guy can be quite the rebel. Well, rebellion really, I suppose there's some type of, I guess you could call it healthy rebellion, where you trust your own authority and you don't have to rebel against society and other people because you trust yourself, basically, right? This dynamic is all about trusting your own creative spirit in connection with creation itself. Trusting your guides, trusting your guardian angels. That life can be very different for different people, but we can still come together. But if they've got their knives out towards us, we're going to go in the other direction, and they need that lesson. They need to learn about how they sabotage relationships, and then from there, we of course we would be walking away. But because this came through reversed, we do have to, I would have to say as a reader that there's an issue here. If we're going to stay in this type of problem, like imagine if you guys, has anybody ever had this type of a relationship where they just like to fight? There's something, like they might not be that way at first, like the first few months, it's great. And then when you start to really get to know them and they trust you enough to reveal, other things that are in there, they just want to fight all the time. And so, that's an opportunity to go deeper and clear that out if they're willing. But if they're not, we walk away. The walking away hasn't happened yet here. So it could be that type of a relationship where they have life force attached to conflict. And that would be because their parents, that was the only way they could get attention or get connection, because there's such a real need for connection when we're growing up. If we don't have it when we're little, we'll die. So we will attach our life force onto our parents, and if they're in conflict and battle all the time, if these are our parents, then we'll have some soul substance that is attached in the same way, and we're going to have to work that out as adults. That's just how it works. So, with this card, the warning is to not avoid these tricky places that need to be, explored. Not to be afraid of changing, not to be afraid of loss, because to stay here in this with the Eight of Cups reversed, we're going to be very stagnant, and we're just going to be swimming in an issue that needs to be cleared out. And maybe on another level, the Five of Swords comes in here to say, maybe I need to be a little bit more interested in just myself. Maybe I need to be willing to have an argument so that I can, at least walk away from this challenging situation where other people are not taking responsibility. Because relationships should just never ever be on just one person. Now, the tricky thing, there's a spiritual law that states in relationship that the person who's the most evolved does hold more responsibility for the relationship. So, I don't know, for me, it's like relationships work best when both people have the same willingness to work on themselves. And if they don't, then you're always going to be in a little bit of a battle, or you're going to be facing disappointment. So anyway, my prayer for you is that you find out what these true meanings are for you. And of course, feel free to drop it in the comments. We have amazing readers here in my community, in our community, and we all have our own wisdom, and I'm sure that we can share it with each other when need be. So feel free to, drop anything in the comments that you need help with, and we'll do our best. Okay, thanks you guys. Take good care. Bye.